Hello, my name is Gordon Witzel. I'm from SAP and I'm working as a product manager in the area of SAP data warehousing. In the SAP data warehousing area, we are responsible for our on-premise solutions and cloud solutions, how to build a data warehouse. And today I will talk about the integration of SAP BW for HANA with SAP Data Warehouse Cloud to show you that this is a perfect match. First of all, I will talk about the SAP HANA data warehousing statement of direction. What is our strategy here? And as you can see on the slides, we have a strategy for our on-premises solutions as well as for our cloud solutions. You can see here on the right side, we have the well-known new product we are offering for building a data warehouse in the cloud, the SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, which is our offering for a strategic public cloud product, which is offered as a software solution, fully managed by SAP and running in the cloud. You can use SAP Data Warehouse Cloud to build your enterprise data warehouse in the cloud, or you can use it to combine existing on-premises solutions or extend your on-premises or cloud solutions. On the other side, on the left side, we have the well-known on-premises part, and here we have two products to offer. We have the SAP HANA for SQL data warehousing to build a SQL data warehouse based on the HANA database on premises. And we have the well-known SAP BW for HANA as our strategic solution for on-premise and private cloud data warehousing. Interesting to know and interesting to understand is that we will still continue to innovate industry-leading data warehousing technologies to enable the intelligent enterprise. You all know the BW for HANA and SQL data warehousing to build an on-premise data warehouse. And we complement our offering with the SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, which is a complete new offering to build a data warehouse in the public cloud. It can be a standalone solution, of course, or you can complement it can complement the existing data warehouse portfolio of SAP and in your environment, of course. Interesting is, or important to understand is, we will not replace BW for HANA or SAP HANA for SQL data warehousing. The solution to build a data warehouse in the cloud with SAP Data Warehouse Cloud complements the existing on any premises solutions. With the hybrid approach is that you can use SAP Data Warehouse Cloud to extend your existing data warehousing solutions to support hybrid cloud offerings. So this means you can use SAP Data Warehouse Cloud on top of your existing on-premises solution and extend the existing data warehouse with self-service BI offerings and different other use cases. In this lecture, I will talk about the use cases we are targeting, and I will talk about the hybrid scenarios we are offering to build a solution, a combined solution of BW for HANA and SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. In the next slide, you can see our existing Data Warehouse Cloud and BW for HANA portfolio and how we position each other. You can see on the right side, we have the well-known BW for HANA solution. This is an enterprise data warehousing application approach for on-premises and private cloud solution built on ABAP. That's important, that it's running on ABAP. You can use that for as a fully pre-packaged data warehousing solution. All the tools to build a data warehouse are included in BW for HANA, and BW for HANA acts as an enterprise-wide single version of the truth of your company data. It's a comprehensive, integrated, and pre-packaged enterprise data warehousing solution. And on the other side, we have the SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, which runs in the public cloud. And we are using, of course, the in-memory technology built on HANA. You can use that to extend your data modeling capabilities. You can extend and adapt your existing enterprise data warehouse models coming from BW4 or from one of the sources underneath. And you can, of course, leverage the existing BW4 HANA metadata objects and semantics like queries or the BW4 info providers, and you can easily extend these objects in SAP Data Warehouse Cloud to build a business layer, to build a business semantic based on the data layer. So as you can see here, we have a strong separation between the data layer, where the data is coming from, and the business layer, which is the semantic layer. And for the data layer, you can, of course, use an existing data warehousing application, or you can connect to each and every source and integrate this data. As you can see on the slide, there are different variety of sources available, be it SAP sources, non-SAP sources, cloud sources, or on-premises sources. And the idea is to integrate this different kind of sources on the BW4 HANA side or directly in SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, build your data warehousing solutions, and then use the SAP Analytics on top of your existing data warehouse and start exploration, visualization, augmentation, and business planning based on the data models you build on your data warehousing solution. Interested is maybe the part in the middle. This is the hybrid solution. This is what I will talk about today. That we have a tight integration of the on-premise scenarios with S4 or BW4, and you can easily extend your on-premise data to enhance this data models in the cloud. As an example, you can easily use BW4 data models. You can assign this to your business users, and the business users can start to extend the existing BW4 HANA data with, as an example, their local spreadsheets or their local files to get a broader insights of the data. That's the idea. That SAP BW is the basement, or is the company-wide data, company-wide secure data, and then you can easily extend it with your own data or your own spreadsheets, local data, and build your data models on top of it. Let's talk about BW4 HANA, and then I will talk about the integration of both products. First of all, I will talk about BW4 HANA, which is our next generation enterprise data warehousing solution. As I already mentioned, it's a fully loaded enterprise data warehousing solution, and we are running on top of the well-known HANA database. It's a packaged data warehousing solution built natively on the HANA data warehousing capabilities. We are running on ABAP. We offered a couple of new business content for BW4 HANA to give you a quick start building your business models on top of your underlying SAP sources. It's highly optimized and unified data platform running on SAP HANA. So we are leveraging all the HANA features and functionalities in BW4 HANA. It's built for real-time, near real-time, or on ETL use case, extraction use case coming from different sources like SAP ERP. We did significant reduction in effort and complexity over the previous releases. So we have different we did different simplification items here, and it's currently supported through 2040, aligned with the SAP S4 HANA maintenance strategy. So this means currently we have a maintenance until 2040, which gives you a lot of flexibility here. What are the main bullet points of BW4 HANA from let's say from the integrated tool perspective? So we have have a enhanced data modeling, we have enhanced data visualization, we have the well-known SAP business content, there's metadata management, we have an analytical engine, there's a query builder inside, we have ETL functionalities and integration for SAP, non-SAP sources, cloud and on-premises sources. There's a complete new user interface, how to build data flows and data models in BW for HANA. We have an administration cockpit built for the internet. You can use that in each and every web browser. Independently from your operating system. Then we have the data tiering optimization, where you can manage your persistency data on BW for HANA side in hot, warm, and or cold. And as I already mentioned, we are running on the HANA platform, and here we are leveraging all the benefits of the HANA platform. We are using the in-memory performance when you run a query on the BW side. We are using this column and row tables. You can use advanced analytics. You can use SQL modeling with the generation or with the possibility to create HANA views out of the BW artifacts. And then you can easily start SQL modeling on top of the generated external HANA views. And so on and so forth. As you can see here, this is a full packaged enterprise data warehousing solution built on the on-premise side. And on the other side, now the question is, what is the SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, and why is SAP Data Warehouse Cloud built for? The answer is the SAP Data Warehouse Cloud is our cloud native in-memory data warehousing solution. It's fully managed by SAP, and there are different use cases available to extend your on-premise use cases into cloud, or you can simply start with complete new cloud native use cases, and it's a complete end-to-end solution, a complete end-to-end data warehouse solution built and designed for the business and IT guys. As you already know, or as you already can remember, that the BW4 or BW is more or less targeting the business user. So you need experience, you need different kind of knowledge to build data flows or data models on the BW side in BW for HANA. But the SAP Data Warehouse Cloud is targeting both. It's targeting the IT guys as well as the business users. As you will see that on the next slides, that the business user can simply start building their data model in the cloud based on, as an example, based on existing BW4 data. So this brings both worlds together and extends the capabilities to build a comprehensive access to all your data. How we are doing that with Data Warehouse Cloud? Just to give you a brief overview, what Data Warehouse Cloud is built for. SAP Data Warehouse Cloud is a collaborative tool. As I already mentioned, it's designed for both, for the enterprise IT guys and for the line of business users to manage and gain valuable insights, accessing all your kind of data. That's important to understand, that the IT guys can start with the integration part. They can start with the data layer and integrate all this kind of sources independently from the business layer. And then the business user can start to build their models on top of it. In the business layer, can start building their semantics on top of it and leverage all the data you have in your company and build data models to find or to create insights or to gain valuable insights based on all kind of data you have in your company. And it's an end-to-end solution. That's important, that we integrate data from any source, be it SAP, be it non-SAP, be it cloud, be it on premises. And then you can consume this data with your powerful native analytics and business. So this means that you can easily build your data models on top of this variety of sources you have in your company, and then you can easily start to build your data models. You can, of course, massage your data, you can transform your data, you can filter your data, you can create your own data sets, you can build KPIs, you can build, of course, dimensions based on this source data, and then you can start analytics on top of the data models. And build your stunning stories in SAP Analytics Cloud on top of it. And last but not least, we are elastic. So this means that you only pay for what you use, and you can reallocate resources quickly and easily across different use cases based on the line of businesses. So this means we have the so-called concept of spaces, and with the concept of spaces, you can easily use a space and then build your business model in this space. Once this space is not longer needed, you can hibernate this space, and once this is needed again, then you can start activate that space again, and all the data are available again, so to say. It's fast, of course, because we are leveraging the power of SAP HANA. So we have the HANA cloud underneath, and then you can easily or instantly access the data you need when you need it without any front-loading costs. So this means with the concept of the underlying SAP HANA cloud, there's no need to let's say to order hardware, to have this sales cycle processes and all that kind of stuff. This is not longer needed. No front-loaded costs. You can immediately start with the SAP Data Warehouse Cloud and build your data models based on your sources or based on your sources. And you can, of course, integrate your existing data warehousing solution like a BW for HANA system immediately. So let's talk about the key capabilities of SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. As you can see here, there are different key capabilities I will talk about today. First of all, I will talk about the governance part. So governance part means that we have space management in Data Warehouse Cloud. There is a user and role management available, and there are some administration tasks available of course, to fulfill the needed governance on your company side. We have the data sources and ingestion part. Here you can, as I already mentioned, here you can integrate all kind of data, SAP, non-SAP data, cloud data, on-premises data. You can access the data fully virtually via virtual access. If this is not fast enough or the performance is not as expected, or you can't meet the service level agreements of the virtual access, you can easily switch between virtual, federated and caching mechanisms. So, I mean, you can start with the virtual access. If this is not fast as expected, you can start with uploading the data, replicate the data. You can use remote source replication to replicate different tables, or you can even, of course, upload local files, and then you can start build your data models or transform the data and build your data models on top of the different data sources you have ingest to your data warehouse cloud system. And the next point is that we offer a couple of repository services. So there's transport handling will be available. There is an integration of the analytics content available. So this means with the analytics content, you can easily use you can easily implement or use existing content for SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. We are offering partner content or partner offering content as well. And then you can use the analytics content network to easily have a quick start and start with content coming from the content network. We have transport handling will come, as I already said. There are security services available. You can use the data anonymization, data masking based on the SAP HANA Cloud database features and functions we are offering. We are offering a row-level security concept in SAP Data Warehouse Cloud to secure your data. Based on your needs, of course, and based on your requirements. And in the data modeling area, we have the well-known data builder, and we have an entity relationship modeler. to build your data models, to build your fact data, to transform your data, to massage your data, make the data ready for the business, so to say. This is, as I already said, the data layer, how the data is coming from, and then you can start building data manipulations and building data flows and all that kind of stuff. And then once this is done, the business came in, and then they can start with the business modeling on top of the data layer. Business modeling means intended for all the business guys to leverage self-service capabilities, self-service modeling opportunities for the line of businesses. This is a separation. We have a separation of the semantics and business modeling, and then you can easily start build your model and build the model independent from the data layer. So if you have changes in the data layer, then this will of course reflect your business modeling, but then you can react on it. This is quite interesting that we have this strong collaboration and a strong relationship between the data modeler and the business modeler. And the business modeler or the business guys, the line of business users can immediately start build their data models on top of the data layer. And for the consumption part, we have the built-in integration of SAP Analytics Cloud, and you can easily build your stunning stories and start data exploration in SAP Analytics Cloud based on the underlying data you have in the SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. There's of course a SQL interface available as well, and then you can connect with each and every tool which can talk SQL to SAP Data Warehouse Cloud and connect to the data models in SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. All right. Last but not least, I will talk about the architecture of SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. As I already mentioned before, it's a comprehensive approach for data warehousing, for instant data to value, that you can easily access all different kind of data into SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. This is the architecture looks like. We have the strong piece of the SAP HANA Cloud in the middle. So this means that SAP Data Warehouse Cloud is built on SAP HANA Cloud. We have the storage and connectivity part on the HANA Cloud with the in-memory and disk part. We have the replication pieces, and we have the possibilities to access the data in a virtual way. And on top of it, we have the data warehousing services, so to say. Here we have governance services I already talked about. We have data modeling, we have business modeling, we have the repository services and security and the security services I already talked about before. This is the data warehouse part. So this means data warehousing services plus SAP HANA Cloud underneath. And then you can, of course, connect to a third-party data lake, or you can use APIs to integrate third-party data via loads, via the OpenSQL schema into HANA Cloud. And then we can use the data warehouse cloud services and build data models on top of it. Same, and then you can easily integrate all kind of data, SAP cloud sources, external cloud sources, on-premises sources. Besides, you can see the business content, and then you can start build your data models and consume the data models via the SAP Analytics Cloud integration. Here you can run analytics based on the data models of SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, or you can start predictive on the data models. But a third-party consumption is already available through APIs connecting on a SQL level to SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. So let's talk about the use cases we are targeting with Data Warehouse Cloud. First of all, I will talk about the so-called self-service data modeling and analytics. This is for empowering all the business users with self-service capabilities for top-down driven analytics in an IT governed environment via Spaces. So this means that you can easily start spin off a space, start with the pre-built adapters, and integrate any kind of data from any source, SAP, non-SAP, on-prem or cloud, into Data Warehouse Cloud, and start immediately with self-service BI capabilities and build your data models without the need of of touching the IT guys, you can immediately start building your data models. And this is brings us more or less to the second use case. This is enabled the data democratization. This is for accelerate the time to insights. You can easily onboard different kind of resources. So this means with the business layer, you can start in a meeting, build your data models based on the data layer from the underlying physical sources. I mean, the physical sources are already there, and then you can easily start build your data models on top of it to leverage the data catalog and the pre-built business content. We will deliver industry data models, as you all know. SAP knows SAP data best, hopefully, and then we will of course deliver industry content here, and you can leverage the industry content to build your data models on top of it with all the KPIs. And then you can start and build and deliver enterprise-wide collaboration with this base concept to support end-to-end decision-making in the area of spaces and self-service capabilities. To enable data democratization, which means that you access all kind of data to you have in your company and build your data models and gain the insights on top of it. And last but not least, we have the end-to-end data warehousing use case. So this means that you can use SAP Data Warehouse Cloud as an end-to-end data warehousing solution where you can leverage your SQL skills in your company. You can run scripts on SAP IDE. There's an open source. We have built-in tooling for data integration via the OpenSQL schema. You can incorporate and harmonize with big data scenarios to combine or to create a consolidated view across your complete enterprise. Means integrating BW data, non-BW data, data lakes, machine learning data, all that kind of stuff to extract the data and build really an end-to-end enterprise-ready data warehouse where you integrate all the existing on-prem scenarios and you combine it via hybrid scenarios. For an example, you have a HANA SQL data warehousing, you have an S4 system, BW4 system, and then the question is how to build an end-to-end data warehousing. And one option is use SAP Data Warehouse Cloud for this kind of data warehousing solution. Having said this, I will now talk about the tight integration of BW4 and SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. As you can see here on the slide, there are different ways, of course, available to integrate BW and BW4 HANA systems. First of all, we have the so-called federated data consumption scenarios. Federated data consumption scenarios works via the operational data provisioning framework, the ODP framework. You are connected to the ABAP platform, or you can use the external HANA views, in the SAP HANA database. This is what we called the SAP HANA connection. You can see that here, there are different connections available. There is an ABAP connection available where you can access the queries, the info provider and the info objects from the BW. Or when you are on BW on HANA, you can use the ABAP connection to access the queries which are flagged as an info provider, the info provider itself and the info objects. Or you can even use the external HANA views via the HANA connection, and then you can start build your remote table, or you can of course even replicate the data based on your BW system. And then last but not least, our second one is we have the federated replicated business semantic integration. This scenario is what we called the model transfer connection of BW for HANA, and this will be exclusively available with BW for HANA. So this means we have the tightest integration comes with BW for HANA. So this means with BW for HANA, you have the option to integrate the semantics of the BW for HANA, BW queries, the BW info providers, and the BW info objects into SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, where you can reuse the semantics, and we are building via the model transfer a so-called business views in the SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, and then you can connect via the remote table to the data layer. But simply speaking, is you can reuse the semantics based on BW for HANA and build your additional data models on top of it. This means that we have differences in supporting the entities. So, and as I already mentioned, you can of course access the data in a remote or in a replicated fashion, and there is an integration of the business semantics. Business semantics means that there will be a business semantic migration or import support for BW for HANA objects only cover via the model transfer connection. So this means the tightest integration, as I already mentioned, comes with BW4 with the reuse of the business semantics. Additional, you have the ABAP connection to the tables or to the objects, and we have the HANA connection for BW on HANA, where you can access the external HANA views. So how this looks like on BW and BW4. Here you can see that we have these two connections here available. This is what we call the virtual and replicated data consumption scenarios. I already talked about it. Here you can access the data in a virtual or replicated way to access the data for info objects, for info providers, and query as the info providers, where we only support a subset of OLAP capabilities. And you can, of course, generate external HANA views, and then you can connect to it. You can connect via the ABAP platform, the ABAP adapter, or the HANA connection, the native HANA connection based on the database, and then you can access the external HANA views. Both is possible. You can use that with any BW systems, with any BW system that either support the minimum operational data provisioning framework requirements, or you can of course use that one for each and every BW system runs on a HANA database. Then you can use the SAP HANA connection via the external created SAP HANA views. Or we are offering the replicated data consumption on any data layer level. So no migration or no conversion of existing BW metadata to data warehouse cloud native entities are available, or also to speak needed. If you have strong calculations on the BW side, then we will reuse the OLAP calculation engine on the BW side. So this means that these calculations are done on the BW side, and you transfer only the result set to to SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. And last but not least, we have this tight integration via the model transfer connection. This is the tightest integration we are offering. And here we provide business semantics from BW for HANA to Data Warehouse Cloud. We enable staging scenarios for BW for HANA data and virtual models. So this means you can easily reuse or integrate BW models as business views in Data Warehouse Cloud. And we are creating dimensions, KPIs, and all that kind of stuff in SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. This means that you can already transfer BW queries as native Data Warehouse Cloud entities. We will support, this comes later, it's part of the roadmap. We will support BW authorizations in SAP Data Warehouse Cloud with the model. This comes with the model transfer connection as well. We will of course support hierarchies, BW hierarchies. And then the BW for HANA system only acts as the remote data source. So this means all the data is, of course, persisted on the BW side, and the calculation engine or the calculation engine execution via MDS happens, of course, in SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. So you find more information about TechEd sessions on the public SAP websites. You find relational SAP TechEd sessions as well. As an example, there's the ANA 367, how to integrate cloud solutions from SAP into SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. Or another interesting session is ANA 204 for BW for HANA. Here we are talking about the latest innovations in BW for HANA, and we will provide you a conversion update. Last but not least, you can of course continue your learning experience from SAP TechEd 2020. There is a learning hub available. You can start activate your free access to the SAP Learning Hub for Event Edition. We will provide a learning journey. There is content specific stuff available. You can of course access the SAP. We will provide access to the SAP experts in special live events. And last but not least, you can, as I already mentioned, subscribe to the SAP Learning Hub for solution-specific learning journeys, guides, and so on. Having said that, thank you for listening. Thank you for your time listening the session for the integration of SAP BW for HANA to SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. Thank you very much. If you have any further questions, then please send me an email to my email address, gordon.witzel@sap.com, and I will answer your question as soon as possible. Thanks for your time. Enjoy your TechEd and the rest of the day. Thank you very much.